Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of the PokerGO Podcast. My name is Donnie Peters. His name is Tim Duckworth. And we have breaking news, maybe?
Sure.
Brand new trophy, baby.
I thought you were
Brand new freaking trophy. No, don't worry about that. Brand new trophy for the Poker Masters events. This is badass. You win the purple jacket if you are the series championship. So my guy Tim here shrunk it down and made it into a trophy. And this thing is
heavy, man.
Heavy. Very, very. I mean, I'm like, this is heavy.
It's got to be like 10 pounds, right?
10?
You think it's more?
100%. Don't they tell you like how much it weighs?
Yeah, I guess I could look it up. Yeah, it's definitely more than 10.
Look it up. It's for sure more than 10. Has to be. All right. It is Thursday, September 18th. Apologies if this does go out a little bit later than that date I just said. I know it is busy season for our producer, Rich Ryan, but we did want to record this before Poker Masters happens. It starts
much later than we had planned.
Much later than we had planned. Fault. And that is my fault, but for good reason.
Yeah.
I want a satellite to the Poker Masters opening event, baby. Let's go. So I will be in there for the Poker Masters $1 million showcase. Snuck in there with one big blind. All thanks to Mr. Jared Jaffe folding to me at one point. I didn't look.
You're kings.
I didn't look, so I don't know.
Wait, you didn't look?
I never look when I get a walk.
I always look.
Yeah, I never look. So I didn't look, so I don't know if I would have called or not. Maybe I would have, maybe I wouldn't have. But anyway, I got in there, got my 5K seats. 9 people got seats. One gentleman got 2K. So we are in the dance. On this episode, though, it is 9:42 p.m. We are going to talk about the PGT Venetian Las Vegas Classic, an event name in which I think Remco got wrong 25 times while doing commentary.
Of course he did.
The PGT Classic at Venetian, the PGT Las Vegas Classic at Venetian, PGT Venetian, PGT Las Vegas, like all over the place.
At least he said PGT. That's all that matters.
He definitely always said PGT. He might have said Venetian Classic. Well, he was all over the map with the name, all over it. I want to talk about these Borgata payouts that came out there. There was some buzz on social media about that. We'll talk about that. We'll get into a little Poker Masters preview. Tim's got 2 code words for the podcast giveaway for a Dream Seed. He did inform me before we pressed record that the giveaway is ending soon. So these are code words that you guys are going to want to pay attention to if you want a chance to win a Dream Seed. So kind of short and sweet. Oh, we got to do our fantasy. I am absolutely kicking your ass in fantasy. It's like 433 to 100 or something.
Great.
I'm crushing, but we got to do the whole drop ad and that sort of stuff. We'll leave that till the end. And I mean, maybe I'll have a family pot. Maybe I won't.
Oh, yeah, Disneyland.
Yeah, maybe you can just ask me some questions about Disneyland. Because I don't really have one thing. So, whatever. We'll keep it light. But that's what we're going to talk about. If you are listening to this episode, please, 5-star review, leave a review, share it, do the damn thing, please. It does help us grow. If you are watching on YouTube, I'm looking at you. Hit the like button on the video. Subscribe to the channel. I believe the PokerGO YouTube channel is very, very close to 700 subscribers. Last I looked, it was 698,000 and change. So the more of you that hit that subscribe button, the better it is. Okay, and it really does help us grow. And then don't forget to drop a comment. Tim and I go in there and read the comments. So drop it if you want to let us know something. Of course, you guys can email the podcast at PokerGO.com if you've got something you want to share. PokerGO and PlayPokerGO are giving you the chance of a lifetime. Sign up for a free account at PlayPokerGO.com or download the app to iOS or Android and just create an account there. Again, it is totally free to do so. All you have to do is play one hand of free online poker. They give you a certain amount of gold, which are the chip currency that you play in there. They give you a certain amount to start. I believe they give you 1,000, and then if you verify your email, you get 25,000. Not that it matters. 1,000 is enough to play one free hand of online poker, which is all you have to do. And you do that before December 10th, and you will be entered into a giveaway to win a Dream Seed into the season-ending PGT $1 million Championship. All right, there are going to be 51 players max, I believe, right? I think it's 40 players and then 11 Dream Seed winners.
Yep.
So, 1 out of 51 shot to win a $500,000 first place prize. Play here in the PokerGO studio.
Easy.
The final 6 are going to make money in that event. It's a $1 million free roll. So, really, really cool stuff there. So single hand of free online poker, playpokergo.com. You can also download it to iOS or Android. So get in there and then give yourself a chance to win a dream seed, and you could be battling for your share of $1 million. Of course, legal language, no purchase necessary. You got to be 21 or older because ultimately you got to come out to Las Vegas and play in the event. And you also have to be a U.S. resident to enter. If you want to look at the full rules and details, pokergo.com/rules. All right. PGT Venetian, Las Vegas Classic. I want this event to become a thing because I want it just to be called the Classic. And I want people when they say I'm playing the Classic, they just know, right?
But the Classic is used in quite a lot of places though.
Yeah,
you
that's
just want
fine.
to be the Classic.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. I think of the movie Side Out. I believe it was
Never heard of that.
In the early 90s, maybe. But it was a movie where this guy went to work for his uncle. He ends up trying to serve this other guy who's a beach bum who's been running from stuff. They end up becoming friends. They get entered into a volleyball tournament, and I believe the tournament that they play in is called the Classic. I believe it is. So I should just look that up and see what it's called. Volleyball tournament, Side Out movie. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't tell me, so I'm not gonna worry too much.
The Classic.
It's the Classic. I hope it becomes a thing because I want it to be called the Classic. We missed a bit with the PGT Bounty Blitz, but I think we hit with the PGT Venetian Las Vegas Classic.
I don't think the Bounty Blitz was that terrible. We knew it was capped how good it could be. I think it was fine. I think it was fun. If we put it back on the schedule next season, we'll just find a better window.
It is called the Classic.
The Classic? Okay.
Heck yeah. The Gold Cuervo Classic.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. It's great. So the PGT Venetian Las Vegas Classic was part of Venetian's Deep Stack Extravaganza series as part of this entire month of poker that they're doing over there. They got an MSPT event as part of it. They got a whole bunch of other stuff that they're doing at Venetian. But the PGT Venetian Las Vegas Classic had a main event, $3,300 buy-in, $1 million guarantee, and then it also had 3 high rollers, $5,300 buy-in each for those. All 4 of those events were PGT qualifying events. First up was the main event, $1 million guarantee, but that was surpassed with more than $1.25 million in the prize pool. Didn't seem like much of a sweat, although
it's always a sweat.
Once I saw the day 1A numbers were 88 entries, I thought that it was pretty good. And then obviously it built from there and it got over it. But it also wasn't one of those ones where, it ended up with $2.5 million in the prize pool. And I'm looking at you saying well, why didn't we have a bigger guarantee? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. This sort of price point it's tricky in Las Vegas. I think it's tricky at Venetian specifically as well. They don't have a lot of this stuff. They have that big WPT in the summer and then now they have this. And then everything else is $1,100, $1,600 for their big stuff, right? So, I think that Tommy LaRosa, the director of poker operations over there, would agree that, this was a little bit of a step outside of their comfort zone, but it did come through. 418 entries, $1.254 million in the prize pool. The winner, Daniel Lee, took it down for $250K. I think a pretty good first place prize, all things considered, $3,300 buy-in. He defeated Lily Coletto, the firecracker herself, Lily Coletto. And trust me, she plays quite firecrackery. She has some wild hands.
Yeah.
She plays just straightforward power poker. Just goes for it. And it was good. Doug Lee. Yes, that Doug Lee. Doug Lee from, I believe, 2+2 Fame back in the day. Finished third. Doug Lee won a satellite into that event. Finished third for $120K. He won a satellite into this Poker Masters showcase just now as well.
He's third in that for $120K.
He's just a satellite king. We had Daniel Marcus finishing in 4th. We had Ryan Lang finishing in 5th. Santiago Montez in 6th. And Jeremy Osmus in 7th. Now, Jeremy Osmus came into the final table with a big chip lead. He had 4.48 million, I believe was the number, and the next closest had around 2.5, I think.
Yeah.
Like it was a big chip lead.
Chips in play.
He ran a big bluff, like maybe the fifth hand or something, against Daniel Lee. It went open from Jeremy with Jack 10 suited, 3-bet from Daniel Lee from one of the blinds. They were very, very deep at this final table everywhere. So Jeremy calls in position, seems totally fine. It came queen high. It went check, bet, call from Daniel Lee. He check called. Turn what? I don't even know what the turn was. I think it went check, bet, call again, and then the river was a king. And it went check, all in, and ace king for Daniel Lee, and he thought about it for a while and called. I think Jeremy made a comment like right after the hand saying that it was a bad river card for him to bluff. I agree. I did not think he should bluff that river card. But I think he also felt like, well, I have jack high. Mm-hmm. Let's go for it. Not that I'm going to be here, questioning Jeremy Osmus's play, because the guy is absolutely incredible. But I did think that was, not needed to go for it there. But, he did, and it bit him. He tumbled down the leaderboard. He didn't quite fall to a short stack, but kind of shortly thereafter, things didn't really work out for him. He became the short stack and then was ultimately eliminated in 7th place for $35,000. Clearly not the result he wanted, right?
Of course not. No, he was a little disappointed, but hey, we can say that elimination led to some future success.
Yeah, which we'll hit on. Yeah. But it is important for Jeremy. 35 PGT points. He's been well off pace. Mm-hmm. For last season he was the PGT Player of the Year. The guy could do no wrong. Absolutely crushed it. In this season, he hasn't been able to do much right. Call it variance, whatever you will. It just hasn't been working out in Jeremy Osmus's favor. And he's been outside the top 40 for much of the entire season. I mean, maybe he was in there in the beginning, but other than that, he's been outside the top 40. So any points that he can garner, the better. And I know he told you that he was skipping Triton Jeju to play the PGT stuff. So, it's good to see him make that run there. Daniel Lee, he said after that he's been going through a little bit of a downswing. He won an event, I think it was in Manila.
It was, like
an APT.
APT win.
Yeah, he won an event for, I think, a little bit more than $250K, because this became his second largest career score. And I think his first ever live tournament cash was in 2024. So relatively new to the live poker scene, or at least not a recognizable face. But he was able to get this win. I thought he played very, very well, both, when we covered him on day 2 and then also at this final table. He seemed like he had good command. He obviously, was the beneficiary of that big bluff from Jeremy Osmus and was able to pick that off. But from there, I think he controlled things quite well. And we'll see what's to come for Daniel Lee. I don't really know if he's going to fire all of Poker Masters. I would expect him to play the showcase because it's a similar event, multi-flight.
He made it sound like he's from San Francisco, so he made it sound like he was going to go home first. And then
go home for a couple of days, come back.
So we'll see. Tomorrow, maybe he hops in the studio, kind of told him a little bit about it. He's never been in here, so it'd be good to see not just him, but a lot of those players that played the Venetian event come over here, But yeah, we'll see for the showcase what happens.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the showcase, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Before you move on the high rollers, I want to talk about numbers real quick. You mentioned 418 entrants. First time, we touched on this last episode that, for this price point, $3,300, Venetian was doing a rake discount of $200 if you were on time. We have seen the success of that here in the studio, and we wanted to see how it kind of works in the mid-stakes. Of those 418 entrants, just slightly more than half were unique. 215 unique entrants. We had 186 on time across all 3 flights. That's 232 late. That 50-50 split we never really see in these kind of events for us anyway. So I think that says that, this field, and you can probably talk from your experience, but field was, although full of PGT players, there was a lot of new faces in there. A lot of players that were only in for one board that had satellited in. I think we awarded somewhere about 25 satellite seats for this one. So I think that was...
It was 7, 9, 10.
Is that what it was?
I believe that's what it was.
26. So that was good. It was good that we saw a lot of new faces, fresh faces.
And those satellites were 2-seat guarantees, so past what was guaranteed.
2-seat guaranteed milestone satellites. But yeah, I think this was without
those
doubt,
were milestone?
Those were milestone.
Okay.
Yeah. Very successful. A lot of our players were missing, whether they were at Try and Jeju, whether they were at Adam Hendrick's wedding. Had a couple people just out of town.
There was like 7 people in Adam Hendrick's wedding.
People just skipping because they were going to play, the showcase. So that's fine.
One thing that I want to mention about the field and the numbers was that I thought that price point, we would get a few more of the guys that I play with around town.
Yeah.
That they will play like an 1100 or 1600, stuff like that. I thought they would just kind of make the jump to play the 3300. I'm not going to name any names, but there was a handful of players that I thought we would get. Some of them did play the satellites, but then ultimately didn't play the event. Some of them played the satellites, won a seat, but then didn't play anymore other than that bullet. So I just thought that was interesting. And, because I thought us lowering our normal price point, here in Vegas, we haven't done anything lower than a 5K.
Yeah.
Right. We've obviously done the stuff in Texas. But I thought 3,300, I know it's a step up. Like a 3,300 is more than double a $1,600 buy-in. It's triple a $1,100 buy-in. Like it is a jump up. But sell some action. Do that sort of thing. Like take a shot, whatever. Like so, I was a little bit surprised with that. But continue.
No, I think with everything how it played out, it was very successful. There is a world where we could definitely run this back. Like you said, you want this to become maybe a staple on the tournament calendar here in Vegas. I think there is definitely a spot for it. And already looking into next year, I smell that, hey, could we see a PLO version of this? We've seen how successful PLO is. We have our PLO series in March. Could we do this there? Like a 3,300 multi-fight PLO kind of championship that then leads into our PGT PLO series. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about. Me and Tommy have chatted a little bit about, hey, what's next on the partnership? So yeah, I think there's an appetite for them, appetite for us, and all in all, thought it was a great main event. And even the high rollers that we're going to touch on were much better than I expected, actually.
Yeah, I mean, quickly on the main event stuff, I thought the field was pretty tough on a whole. I thought day 1A was incredibly tough. When did I play? 1B? Played 1B.
Yeah, 1B.
But just looking around the field on day 1A, I thought it was very, very, very tough. So yeah, I mean, I think that speaks to the climate in Vegas, and meaning I don't think a lot of people, like outside of the big WPT stuff, the WSOP, of course, and really everything in the summer. It's just hard at that price point in Vegas. It's just it's out of people's comfort zone, right? And then I think it's a little bit harder for people to make the jump once they see how tough the field is. So yeah, I thought it was a little bit tough on day 1A. The day I played, day 1B, it was tough. I had a good table draw. I didn't make it through. I think 23 or something went through, 24.
Yeah, 23.
And I got like 30th or something, 32nd. I can't remember. But my table was pretty good to start for most of the day. But, obviously the best players tend to go deeper and survive and whatnot. So as things progressed, it did get a little bit tougher, yes. So I wonder if that's, a little bit of something. Like I just thought we would get more of like the, no insults here, but the minor league players to play this event. And I think that is something that we should try and improve upon.
Yeah.
Maybe that's enhanced satellite offering. I thought the satellites that they had were good, but can we do more of them?
Yeah, we can do maybe more.
Can we do more? Can we get them in there? Can we do some different stuff? Put some bigger guarantees on them. With the numbers that they got in those satellites, I think you could safely run 5C guaranteed satellites and then, go from there. So I was also thinking today when I was playing this satellite, what about a satellite that's all satellites seem to be 1 in 10. Why can't you do a 1 in 5?
Like a bigger buy-in one?
And like for this one, like for the one I just played, that would require spending $1,000. So I think that's a little too much, right? Because once you get to 500-ish, which the one I played was 560 to the $5,100 tournament, right? 510 goes into the prize pool and whatever. So, but like once you expect people to pay $1,000, that's a little bit dicey. But here, 600.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 in 5, maybe do one of those. Like I think that would be cool. That would work, right? So,
I mean, you could
I would
do,
explore
you
some
could
of
do
that
a 1 in
stuff.
7 and bring it down to like 500, which is
Sure.
Yeah.
By the way, that was a great thing about the event, that it was 7-handed the whole way through.
Yeah.
Absolutely freaking incredible. I think people had a good time at Venetian. I think they enjoyed it. I think they liked the room. I think they, Remco and I have seen it a lot because we do a lot of the commentary over there. We talk about it all the time, but just the fact like you can just park at Palazzo, go up the elevator. It literally says poker room on the elevator button, which is like unheard of in Vegas, that they're actually catering to a poker room.
Mm-hmm.
You get off the elevator and it's like 100 yards to the room. It's right there. I mean, the poker room is away from the casino.
Yeah.
It is in the Palazzo Shops area. Food is good there.
Food's great.
I mean, you have to pay for it, yes, but obviously you can use your comps, but the food menu there is really, really, really good. The streaming room, I think a lot of people liked as well, that element of it. So yeah, I think a lot of fun all around. But congratulations to Daniel Lee for the winner of the main event. Just quickly before we touch on these high rollers, we had John Riordan, 10th place. We had Craig Mason, 12th place. Dustin Iannotti, 13th place. Jeremy Becker remains hot, 16th place. I do got to touch on Sam Laskowitz. Where did he bust? Because he got absolutely
48th.
Freaking screwed. He lost aces to something. I don't even remember what. But to Queens, I think? To Kathy Liebert?
Yeah.
And then... or maybe that wasn't then. I can't remember. But he lost with aces. He gets those cracked. Then it was I believe it was to King, Queen, whatever. It doesn't matter. He lost with aces. He got him cracked all in pre-flop. Then blind versus blind, he gets Queen 10 versus the big blind's Queens. And I can't remember exactly how the board went. I believe it was Queen 10X, turn 10. So... full house over full house. I mean, just absolutely sick stuff. Just ridiculous stuff. Kane Callis, 25th. Jeff Platt, 27th. Andrew Lichtenberger, 30th. Josh Aryeh, 41st. Landon Tice, 52nd. So, a lot of big names ran deep in that event, that main event. Hopefully, we bring it back next year and it becomes a thing. I would love to do it again. I would love to grow on that and grow our partnership with Venetian. I think it was a pretty big hit, a pretty big success in year one. So, and we didn't have to sweat the guarantee too much. It was close, yes, but, ultimately not really like worrisome. All right, high roller time. There were 3 high rollers. The first one got 51 entries. The second one got 62 entries. And then the third one got 49 entries. That first one was won by Sam Laskowitz. So he busted in brutal fashion from the main event. Hops in this one. Best vanilla poker player, vanilla tournament poker player in the world. His nickname is Vanilla from now on. He won for $84,150. He beat Aaron Messmer in heads-up play. Jim Colopy got third. Victoria Lifshitz in the money. Jonathan Little in the money. Joey Wiseman in the money. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen Joey Wiseman's name on the PGT. But he's back. Second one, Jeremy Osmus
there we go.
Goes on to win it. So redeems himself a little bit after the 7th place finish in the main event after coming in with a big chip lead. And then here, I was reading the updates. I heard he battled Steven Song for
2 hours. Something.
2 hours of heads up play. They didn't get done until like 1:30 in the morning. Crazy stuff.
Both back for on-time registration the next day, as tremendous do.
Osmus won $99,200. Song second. Jim Colopy third again. Jim Colopy just crushes. Shannon Shore got 5th in this one. Jeremy Becker.
There we go.
Jeremy Becker still hot. So that's what? So that was 5 out of 6, 6 out of 7. 7 out of 9 of the up until this point of the last PGT events, and then he did not cash in the last one. So 7 out of 10 in PGT events post WSOP for Jeremy Becker in terms of cashing.
He's on fire.
That is on fire. Like, I mean, the bad thing is that he's in these events that aren't awarding a lot of points, so he's still got a lot of work to do for the leaderboard. But it could happen. It could certainly happen. And then the final one was won by Craig Mason, who was at my table when I played on day 1B in the main event, kind of towards the end of the day. But he was talking about how he hasn't won a poker tournament in like, I don't know, 10 years or something ridiculous. So here we go. Craig Mason won. He beat Andrew Lichtenberger in heads-up play. Mason took home $85,750. What do you got to say about the high rollers?
Yeah, like I said at the top, better numbers than I thought we were going to get. We had a lot of non-regs playing, which is great. So that did help. Look, Venetian don't run these high rollers often, so the nuances that our players are used to didn't quite, just weren't as free-flowing. But by the end of it, I think it was okay. But yeah, I think they were great. The single-day events, we got decent numbers, got a lot of fresh faces, which, the players were happy to see. But yeah, all in all, I think this kind of series where you have a main event and then just a couple of high rollers after it or overlapping the final few days is kind of a good way to do it. And I think this is a good kind of template for whether we take this back to Venetian or we take this concept somewhere else or we do a PLO version. I think this kind of short and sharp and sweet format series is kind of ideal for these players.
Well, Venetian's definitely got to get it back. I mean, it was a great event. It really was. Structure was really good too. So yeah, all in all, I'm a fan. All right, moving on.
Code word.
Oh, you want to do a code word now?
Right now.
Okay.
Do code word right now. If you want to represent the PokerGO Podcast in the PGT $1 Million Championship, go to pgt.com/streamseat. It's got all the promotions, but go to the podcast one. You can enter these code words in. You get all these extra raffle tickets. We're going to draw a winner. You're going to represent us. Two code words today, but the first one, pretty obvious. We're just going to do Venetian. Very simple. Venetian. Don't need to spell it. You guys know how to find it. I'm going to make it... Let's make it 25 tickets. 25 raffle tickets because, first prize, $250K. I think that's a good number. So
I like it. That's an important one.
Yeah, it's an important one. Use code Venetian. Get those 25 tickets. And if you haven't entered, there's lots of ways that you have to follow us, follow PGT, follow PokerGO, do all these things. It's very simple, but getting the chance to win the dream seat and represent us in the PGT $1 Million Championship.
Let's go. All right, moving on. Borgata. They had a $5,300 BetMGM Poker Millionaire Championship as part of whatever series is going on right now. It's called like the big, or I can't remember, whatever. Anyway, so this event, they came out with it, $3 million prize pool guarantee, $1 million first place prize guarantee. Okay. Which seems like on the surface, it's going to be a little bit awkward, right? It ends with 670 players. So the prize pool is $3,350,000, paid 67 spots, which is 10%, which seems good. When you are baking in that it's going to be so top heavy, it's good to pay fewer spots overall. So I like that. But first place, $1,005,000, which is 30% of the prize pool. Second place, $402,000. I mean, it is wild.
It's terrible.
Third place, $247. Fourth place, $206. 167, 130, 102, 75, 51. So, couple things here. I want to know why first place is $1,005,000 and not just $1 million. So where did that come from?
I tweeted out about how that triggered my OCD so badly, and I don't understand what they did there at all. So unnecessary.
I mean, I really don't understand it.
Especially since second is $600K less.
Yeah,
give it to that guy.
A min cash was more than $10,000, which it was right around double. It was $5,300 for the buy-in. So if you want to count, whether you want to go $5,300 or whether you want to go $5K into the prize pool, whatever it is right around double. I have another question there. Is that does a min cash need to be that much? And I know that you and I talked about min caches because you were working with the Venetian on the min cache for that. So what do you think? We don't normally do double, do we?
No, we definitely don't do double.
And I understand that there's going to be a lot of players that they might cash and lose because they might fire multiple bullets, but I mean, those are the breaks, I guess.
I think for this format, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their player pool is. I know what our player pool is like. They want a big first prize, so we would prefer to make the min cash smaller so that first, second, third, there's more money up top. If you can tell me the 670 players that played Borgata are more local grinders, then maybe the double min cash is probably more on point. But it's so hard when you're doing this whole $1 million for first, which is 30% guaranteed. That makes it really tough to make a normal kind of payout. And I think when you set it up like that, this was dropped pretty late on the schedule. They saw a little window without us running Venetian. They kind of went over the top of it. If they had more lead up time, maybe they were expecting to get, closer to 4.5 million or something in the prize pool, where $1 million wouldn't be, too crazy. So,
but still, can't you adjust the payouts so it's not so insane?
Yeah, but you'd have to take it. You'd have to drop that min cash to say 7,500, which is fine.
7,500 or 8K.
Yeah, and then start building up.
I was even thinking like the first 2 brackets, which I think they did like the first 9 or whatever. Then there was like a 400 or 500 jump. Like first 2 brackets, just make them the same.
Yeah,
something like that. It
depends what the goal is. Like if they're trying to just like flatten out everything else, then. But with this payouts, you're always going to get a chop, and that's what ended up happening.
That's what ended up happening. Can you look up who won? I know the person who won chopped with Chance Corner.
Yeah,
I know that. So we need to get the gentleman's name. But they did end up chopping, which
Adit Kushumi.
Yeah. So shout out to Kushumi. They did a deal. Him and Chance, and then he ended up winning the trophy, which is a pretty badass trophy.
It is. It's pretty good.
That line. Do they also have the Borgata trophy? Because I like the Borgata trophy too.
Well,
it's like the win trophy.
2 trophies on the
Borgata
table,
trophy is it's a replica of the hotel.
It's the original win trophy.
Was this before win?
Yeah, pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure as well. And that's the trophy when I was like getting into poker, I was like, I want to win that trophy.
Yeah.
So anyway, on the goal of this, I mean, I'm guessing the goal is to leverage $1 million first place prize for marketing.
Yeah.
I mean,
which is fine. That's okay.
Okay. Yes and no. Yes, it's good in theory. No, it should not come
at the expense of
the players.
That's true.
Like, and ultimately you didn't even get $1 million first place prize, so it doesn't matter. Because you were never going to get $1 million first place prize unless you got $5 million in the prize pool. You just weren't, because these guys were always chopping.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. I think that gimmicks like this are, for lack of a better term, lazy, because like, why wasn't there a bigger guarantee to make $1 million first place prize more palatable? Why wasn't there more satellite or marketing efforts? I mean, when was this announced? Could it have been announced sooner and there was more lead up to it to get the feel? Just all in all, trying to make it less awkward at the top, because it just makes it very awkward. So yeah, I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. I mean, I think one person who had a contrarian take was Faraz Jaka. He said ultimately, if this sort of thing gets more players like into poker, into the event, because it's $1 million first place prize, then that's a good thing. I mean, I don't know if it did. I'm not going to say a tournament, a main event at Borgata that gets 670 is like, breaking doors down here.
I don't think it gets
that's a good turnout. Like, I don't
think new players are attracted to like $1 million first prize.
I mean, yeah, they might be, but like, did they have new players in there? How many new players were in there?
If I have a new what attracts me is obviously a big prize pool, because that means it's, more chance I can make some money. I would, if you were trying to attract new players, you might want to say, you know what, we're going to pay 20% and you're going to get a double min cash. It's going to be worth double your buying. Now that would attract, that's going to deter the pros and attract everyone else. You got to think of it that way. And this is more a pro heavy, like endeavor. And if that's what they want, that's fine. But I disagree quite heavily there with Faraz.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought it was interesting that they did this. I mean, and you pretty much know, I think, in today's poker landscape, when you come out and you say this is a $3 million guaranteed event, has $1 million first place prize, like we all kind of are like, well, that's going to be awkward. Yeah. Like you just know ahead of time, right? Now, unless their projections said one thing and, you know, those projections didn't come through, okay, I get it. But, you know, I don't think you necessarily need to do, you know, kind of crazy stuff like this that makes it awkward in the end, right? So, you know, it is what it is. But that happened. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see if it continues. I don't know if it'll continue, but we'll see. I would like Borgata Poker to be back, like be a big player again. You know, not that it's not a big player, but like, you know, back to like what it was. They used to have 2 WPTs a year. Like, you know, that thing was just freaking incredible. Your poker story could send you to Las Vegas because PokerGO and True Classic are giving away 15 packages worth $5,000 each. All you have to do is go to trueclassictees.com/TCPokerGo and tell us your story. Tell us, you know, how poker has impacted your life, why you got into the game, what it means to you to play. You know, maybe a family member taught you and, you know, it's a way to kind of hold on to those memories. You know, whatever it may be. You have a crazy spin up journey to get to where you are today and you're looking to get to the next level. Whatever it may be. I know Ryan and the True Classic team, they are looking for the best stories out there in poker, and they want to allow those people or give those people a chance to achieve their dream, which is through this giveaway. So again, share your poker story today, trueclassictees.com/TCPokerGo. The deadline to enter is October 27th, and that event is coming up at the beginning of December here at the PokerGO studio in Las Vegas. So get in there and make it happen. Again, this one is open to U.S. residents only, and you must be 21 or older to enter. Poker Masters 2025. That's right, baby. This thing's pretty sweet. 10 events total, kicking off with the debut of the Poker Masters $1 Million Showcase. That starts on Friday, September 19th. Multi-flight event, 2 starting flights, $1 million guarantee. You'll have a day 2. It'll have a final table on day 3. That'll lead into the rest of the schedule. Tell me about it. You're the guy. Tell me about the entire Poker Masters.
Yeah.
Why should I care?
Because I care.
That's right. That's right, baby. Because we care.
We care. Look, we've seen a big influx in popularity for that 5K opening event we started doing. So I thought, how can we make this even bigger? How can we make it better? You know, let's try this multi-flight. Let's do something a little different. We've never done this here in the studio. We've never done a big guarantee for an opening event like this. So, you know, we kind of workshopped some ideas, felt like this worked really well, this showcase idea. 2 flights, play down to the money, come back on day 2, play down on the final table. We see a lot of new faces that play the 5K buy-ins in the studio and then never play anything else, even if they cash. So our goal, all right, let's get a really, really big opening event. Let's hope some people win some big money and move on. But also, new for this as well is a second 5K. So we're doing a second 5K after that, and then we lead into like the normal series of 10s, 15s, and the 25K finale. And for those, if you're listening, you've been here, you've seen the studio, we've got a completely different setup. We've never done this for a no-limit hold'em major, such as the Poker Masters, but there's no final table, feature table there in the middle, which is 14 tables. We've got 14 tables there. We got one table here.
15. I just can't believe it. Can't believe
it. This is the 15.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But in there.
Because we want, not only do we expect a big field, we don't want any alternates. So 14 tables out there.
There were 9 satellite winners today.
Yep.
So, you know, those players are in there. There's another satellite tomorrow night.
Yep.
Doesn't have 5 seats guaranteed, has 2 seats guaranteed, but still. And then there's another, winner from it, the Octopi Poker Masters giveaway. So we're going to have 10 people already in there for sure.
Yeah. And Nick Schulman was the first player to register.
He was, really?
Yeah, randomly today at about, yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, we're trying something different and we think it'll be successful. Obviously, putting a guarantee is always scary, even if the data says we should be fine. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping it brings in some new faces. I'm hoping some people from Venetian come over. Obviously, great success in the satellite tonight with 9 seats. Yeah, it's just something different. Let's see how it goes. Throw in the new trophies. We're trying to appeal to what we think is the right buy-in level here in Vegas, especially with our players, and giving our regulars new people to play against, but giving, people such as you a chance to take a shot, and play up a little bit and play in the studio and get to experience what, you've watched on TV, over the last few years, etc.
I will be taking a shot.
Yeah.
I was going to be taking a shot anyway, but then I won the seat.
But now you have a rebuy.
As backup. I thought about that and I doubt it.
Okay.
But, it was good to squeak into the satellite with one big. Got in there. Again, shout out Jared Jaffe.
This is your first PGT event in the studio, right?
This is my first PGT event in the studio. I have played in the studio before. I've actually had good results in the studio.
Yeah, you got 2 final tables, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I've played 3 events and finished. Actually, I should look this up. I've definitely finished in the final table.
The charity event?
Correct.
The NFT event? You probably played the Run Good Pro.
I played the Run Good, and
it's at least 3 events you played.
I cashed the Run Good. I don't know if I made the final table.
I don't think you did.
I final tabled the NFT event.
Yeah.
I got nit rolled.
Remember that? Get nit rolled,
that was ridiculous.
It's like first hand, right? First hand of the final table?
Yeah, first or second hand of the final table, something like that.
Charity event, the one Tilly won.
Is the Run Good not on here?
Did you cash in the Run Good one then? Maybe you didn't cash.
I mean, maybe I
like
didn't
22,
cash.
maybe 2021.
I don't know. Maybe I didn't cash.
I also cash in the PokerGO employee free roll for $20.
The what?
Remember when we played that PokerGO employee free roll?
No, I don't remember that. What year was this stupid Run Good thing? Not that it's stupid, but that I can't find it as stupid.
If it's not on your if it's not on your hand, then that means you didn't cash.
I could have sworn I cashed. I mean, maybe it was the NFT thing that I cashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely cashed the NFT thing. I definitely cashed the One Step Closer Foundation charity poker tournament. I think Jennifer Tilly took me out in the end.
Now you got to cash this one.
That would be great. Mainly, I just want to challenge myself in this one. I kind of feel like if I do commentary on these events and these players, I have to be able to back it up. That was like my motivation to play. So I was like, you know what? I'll play this one. I always kind of told myself maybe I'll play the opening event, the 5K of like one of the majors, Masters, USPO, or Cup. What always turned me off was that, well, one, I could never play the satellites, like scheduling reasons, I just couldn't play. So not that I couldn't sell action and get in anyway. But the fact that they were just like the single day turbo-ish tournaments, I was like, whatever. But this one, not that it is a little bit of a faster structure, yes, but multi-flight, like there's going to be, it's not going to be full of just the PGT players. Like there's going to be a bunch of others in there. So I think I'll be all right.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Who do you want to not see at your table?
Not see at my table?
Because they're too good. And B, who do you want to see at your table because, not because they're bad, but because you want to play, like, you maybe not idolize might be the wrong word, but you want to play against them or you want to test yourself against that person?
I mean, I don't want to see Andrew Moreno.
Okay.
I think he's like the best at this price point.
Okay.
But they're all, I can literally name any of them. Like, they're all really, really good. The thing is like a Shannon Shore, who I think is also incredible, right? The thing is, maybe this is just a mental leap that I need to make, but I've played a lot with Shannon Shore around town. Mm-hmm. So I'm comfortable with that. Not that I haven't played sometimes with Andrew Moreno. I've talked a lot of poker with him and I know how good he is and I've watched how good he is and he's super aggressive. I mean, in the Venetian event, Andrew Ostapchenko gave me fucking fits the whole goddamn day. He was really, really good. He did really unorthodox things. It was such a headache to try and figure out. Felt like he beat me in every pot that we played. So, like, I don't want him at the table either. Yeah. I mean,
Nick Schulman.
Yeah, I mean, I played once with Nick. I mean, Nick's incredible. The guys who I don't like, the players, not that I don't like playing with them. the players that give me the toughest go of it are players who are very good and super aggressive. And not only aggressive, but like kind of loose too. Like they can just be in there with like anything at any time. But again, and they're just like aggro, and you kind of have no idea where they're ever at, and it's just very tough, So yeah. But whatever happens. I'm happy to be in the field. I was gonna play anyway, whether or not I won the satellite, but it's still good to bank the satellite, and we'll see what happens.
Anyway, 10 events, 2 5Ks, 5 10Ks, 2 15s, and a 25. 10 events. Is that 10 events? It sounds like it. Player that wins the most PGT points in those 10 events is going to win the real jacket. Not this 15-pound jacket.
I saw it out somewhere today.
I put it out there. It's on display near the cashier along with one of the trophies. So people it's the first thing they see when they register.
They should.
I want people to see this new trophy and be like, you know what? I got to get me one of those. So, I think it's going to be a really great series. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of overlap from Triton, Jeju that's finishing up right now. So people, some of those heroes probably come in mid-series. But either way, looking forward to the showcase, looking forward to a strong showing in that because, if we can really, not smash the guarantee, but if we can get through the guarantee pretty comfortably without a sweat, it feels like this can be the template for the next majors. The PokerGO Cup, we can do this again. USPO, we can do this again. This can be kind of the formation for how we build build these series. So definitely need it to be successful. And like I said, I always want to see new people in here because that will continue to build our player base.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great event. Hopefully, I just run like the freaking sun and don't have to think about a damn thing. That's always the best, of course. All right. Speaking of Poker Masters, we got to do the PGT Fantasy. I am kicking your ass. I have 433 points right now. You have 100, but we got a long way to go. Remember, it's for the entire rest of the season. So like anything can happen. Anything can happen. And this is the series where like you could have 1,000 points by the end and just take over. The teams right now, I have Jeremy Osmus, Jeremy Becker, Nick Schulman, Michael Wang, and Sam Laskowitz. You have Alex Foxen, Chino Ream, Sam Soverall, John Riordan, and Michael Burke. In the last ad drop, I dropped Adam Hendricks and picked up Sam Laskowitz. Great job by me. You dropped Jesse Lonis and picked up Michael Burke. Not a bad job by you because he
got some points.
Yeah, he did get some points.
Yeah.
So Tim and I drafted 5 players each. Then we have some weird kind of rules where after every series, we must drop a player and we must add a player. That must happen. And then, for example, if I were to drop Nick Schulman, okay, Tim can't pick up Nick Schulman, right? That person.
But we can also, don't forget, we can trade a player.
No, I'm getting to all the rules. So that's the first rule. Yeah. The second rule is that you and I then freeze 2 players on our team.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So I can freeze Jeremy Osmus and Jeremy Becker, which has to do with the next part where you have the option to then switch one of your players with one of my other 2 players. Mm-hmm. The person who was added after the drop is not eligible for this. Last time you choose not to switch a player. And then I took Jeremy Osmus from your team, which was a really good steal for me. Okay, so I locked last time. I locked first last time, so you locked first this time. Or no, sorry, we're doing ad drop first.
We're going to do ad drop first.
I did it first last time. I dropped Adam Hendricks. So you got to drop someone. And by the way, Hendricks and Jesse Lonis are now back in the pool.
They're back in the pool, yeah. I'm going to drop, this hurts me, but Alex Foxen.
Wow.
He just got hammered.
Too busy playing
hammered in
$10 million heads-up matches.
He might not come back. So I think, like I said, he's a try and he's probably going to miss a few events.
So I do recall that I heard Kristen talking about going to this event, and this was, I want to say during the summer maybe, but she said that they booked a one-way ticket. They might go to Japan after, like all that sort of stuff. Yeah, exactly. So
you're gone.
I have no idea if they're going to come back or not, but I recall her saying that they were going to go to Triton and they did book a one-way ticket, and then they'll just figure it out from there. So not a bad drop by you. I'm going to drop, and I got to drop Michael Wang.
You should have dropped him last time.
Yeah, but you know why I dropped him last time, and I was right in dropping him last time, and I was right with exactly why I dropped him, because I thought there was a greater chance that Michael Wang could come back than there was a chance of Adam Hendricks skipping his wedding or something to play in an event. Yeah. Adam Hendricks did not show up at all, so there was still a chance that Michael Wang said, "The heck with Triton, I'm coming back to the States."
Yep.
And I mean, he didn't, which is fine.
He's also second in chips, I think, in the half an hour.
Yeah, I mean, he's crushing. But like the thing with Michael Wang is like, what if he was having a horrible Triton Jeju trip? He's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm coming back. Yeah. So that was my idea there. But doesn't matter. I'm dropping him. Okay, so
do you want to do the freeze first or the ad?
No, pick up.
The pickup? I'm going to pick up the guy. This is the pure gamble. Wait, do I want to do this?
I got to look at the list. You're going to pure gamble.
I'm going pure gamble.
I don't even know what that means.
Because I'm so far behind. And I know he's mentally feeling good. He's refreshed.
I don't even know what this means.
I'm going to pick up Lewis Spencer.
Lewis Spencer. I mean,
Lewis Spencer.
That's fine.
Welcome to my team.
I know you saw that he was.
Yeah,
he was
gambling.
Here.
I'm gambling. You know, like there's better picks out there, but like mentally, I think he's ready to have he's primed, ready to have a big series.
Yeah, I'm picking up Andrew Lichtenberger.
Oh, that's who I had as well on my list. But
I mean, it's just my team is stacked.
Your team is stacked. I ain't over yet.
All right, now we got to lock players. Lock 2, and then I'll lock 2.
You can't take Lewis Spencer, right? And I can't take
Lichtenberger.
Yeah, they're locked. Or automatically locked, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to lock Chino and Sovereign.
Okay.
You have a much bigger problem.
I do have a bigger problem, but I'm going to lock Jeremy Osmus and Nick Schulman.
Oh, you leave. Oh, should I pick up?
Now you can swap.
Yeah.
You can swap.
I know you're not going to swap. I can't swap with like Lucky Chewy's out, right?
You can't swap Lucky Chewy. You can either give me John Riordan or Michael Burke for either Jeremy Becker or Sam Laskowitz. Okay? That's what you can do. And then I can obviously do vice versa. And then once you swap, I can't swap back, by the way. Like, that person's gone.
This is pretty tough. Why don't you go first?
Why don't I go first? Jesus.
Because I don't know if I want to swap.
Buddy, you got to go first. This is the rule.
Riordan's going to play everything. Burke's going to play everything.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily if they're going to play everything. It's, do you think they're going to do well? You know, like maybe you see someone on the other team that might do better than the person on your team.
Becker's running so hot that he's only due to be cold, right? But if I take Becker, that's my other argument. He's running so hard, he'll keep running hot.
There's a reason I didn't lock him.
Well, yeah. I'm okay rolling out with John Riordan and Burke. But if you want to switch,
okay, is that your final?
Yeah, and if you switch, I'm okay with it. Yeah,
I'm not doing it either.
Wow,
so we're keeping with the same teams.
Okay,
all right, cool. Okay. So I have Jeremy Osmus, Jeremy Becker, Nick Schulman, Sam Laskowitz, and Andrew Lichtenberger. You have Chino Ream, Sam Soverell, John Riordan, Michael Burke, and Lewis Spencer.
Got it.
Here we go, baby. All right, cool. Let's wrap it up with a family pot.
One more code word. Sorry, for Poker Masters, the code word is Masters. Very
Easy.
Simple. 25 raffle tickets. First word, Venetian, 25 tickets. Second word, Masters, also 25 tickets. Get in, enter the contest, pgt.com/dreamseat.
Love it. Love it. All right, family pot. I guess we should play the music.
Yeah, it's been a while. Time. I don't even know what it sounds like.
It's time for a family pot. A family pot. Who doesn't love a family pot? Flop, turn, and river, all in or not.
You said you had one, by the way.
Huh?
And you were like, I'm not going to share it because I'm going to wait till you go to Disneyland.
Yeah, I've totally forgotten what it was, but I can think of something.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I went to Disneyland with the kids. It was a lot of fun. It was ungodly hot there. Mm-hmm. This might not be exactly like a family thing. It might just be more about my life. So whatever. It's my podcast. I'll do what I want. It was 85 degrees, but it felt like it was 120. It was unreal. I did get to visit with producer Rich Ryan. So shout out to that. That was fun. He had us over to his place and cooked us some nice burgers and wings. Incredible. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is about Disneyland is the adult people that go, like without kids, that are just like
the big
into
Disney
it.
fans.
It was definitely 2 people. It might have been 3. I can't remember exactly. It was 3. So my daughter wanted to meet the princesses. Okay, so you go to this one thing and you can like go inside and then there's like 3, you're like in this like castle or house or whatever, and you meet 3 of the princesses, right? She met Anna from Frozen, she met Cinderella, and she met Sleeping Beauty. Okay. It was either Sleeping Beauty or Cinderella, but you go and you meet and you can tell you're in like this room that's broken up into 3s and like there's walls. So like you kind of walk into one part. It's just that princess, you meet them, you do photos, whatever. You go out to the next one, but like you go behind a wall. So like there's only like really one person in the thing at one time. But like there's a tiny bit of a line. Like sometimes you'll be waiting while the person's talking to the princess, whatever. There's this group of women. One of them is pregnant. And they like want, I think it was Sleeping Beauty or Cinderella, like to bless the baby. Like put her hand on the belly, like this whole thing. Then they had her sign a onesie of the baby, and they were like when the baby is born.
It's not the real princess, right?
Buddy, this was out there. They're like, when the baby's born, we're gonna come back here, and the baby will be born. And I'm like, what? Like, what are we doing here? I mean, I know like it's Disneyland, it's the happiest place on earth. You know, adults tend to be, you know, kids a little bit in there, but it's like, it's kind of weird. Okay, it's kind of weird, the way that some of these people act in Disneyland. You know, I'm all for like, I enjoy it. I like Disney stuff. You know, I'm into it. I obviously grew up on a lot of Disney stuff, so there's some nostalgia there. I get it. My wife loves it as well. You know, but like, I mean, I'll wear a shirt. My wife will wear a shirt. She'll have the Disney ears on. Like, but that's like kind of the extent of it. But like, some people are just like, they're a bit over the top.
Yeah,
and I think it's a little bit weird. So. But yeah, my son was petrified of everything. He's 2 years old.
He's like too small to go on a lot of rides, right?
No, he went on some. He definitely went on some. Every time we went on a ride, we would go on to like the Cars one with Mater, where like you're in like this freaking tow truck or whatever, and it like spins you around or whatever, and like you sit down, he'd immediately start screaming. But then, like, once the ride started, he got a little bit better. Not that he was, like, smiling and loving it, but he was calm. Daughter loved everything. She was screaming and yelling. There's this, there's that, there's Goofy, there's, like, all over the place. She loved the whole thing. She's 4, so she's just totally in for it. But, yeah, he, like, we did, like, one of those family breakfasts, you know, where you can meet the thing and, like, they're all at the restaurant and whatever. And, yeah, my son was, like, he was not having it. He would like them from afar, from like 5 to 10 feet away. But if you tried to get close, immediately screaming. It wasn't until the 3rd day that he finally kind of warmed up to them a little bit. So, but yeah.
I just want to know how much you spend.
So,
how much you like, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we got a deal through Costco.
Okay.
We got 3-day park hopper passes for what I thought was a good price. We didn't stay at a Disneyland hotel because we did stay at a Disneyland hotel the first time we went when my daughter turned 2. The plan was when she turned 2, we were going to do it. And then when my son turned 2, we were going to go, right? They're kind of that old. They can kind of understand things then, you know, whatever. And it was great because when you stay at a Disneyland hotel, like you're right there, you get early access to the park for like an hour or an hour and a half before everyone else gets in. So that was awesome. The prices this time around were fucking outrageous. Like out of like $1,000 a night. I was like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
For the Disney.
For the Disneyland hotels. I think there's 3 of them. So we didn't stay there. We stayed right across the street. It was maybe a 12-minute walk from our hotel into the park. So it was great. I was pleasantly surprised with the prices of the food and stuff inside Disneyland.
Okay.
Like it wasn't that bad. It was reasonable. You know, I thought, you know, I'm like, great, like I'm going to buy a hot dog. It's going to cost me $35. Like, I mean, they were a little bit expensive, but like they weren't egregious. And, but what I'll say is that the food in Disneyland sucks. Okay. Absolutely sucks. like in Disneyland and California Adventure, it's just bad. Most of the time we left the park and went to downtown Disney, which is right there. They have a lot of restaurants. I mean, the prices are similar, but it's just way better food. Way, way better food. The food inside Disneyland and California Adventure is just like, it's like normal theme park food. Like there's chicken fingers, there's onion rings, there's, hot dogs. Like it's just not that good. Now, one of the things that I always love when I go there is I love to get that giant ass fucking turkey leg that they have. I love that thing. So I got that. My wife likes the Dole Whip, so she got that.
Dole Whip.
But like most of the stuff, like when you look at the restaurants, it's like, it's just not that attractive and not that good. And plus you're paying a premium for it. Not that it's outrageous, but it's like really, like it's just not that great, which surprises me because Disney takes such pride in these parks and everything is freaking perfect in the parks. Yet the food is just very lackluster to me. It's just not that great. And I wouldn't mind spending a little bit more if the food was like, was like something you kind of remembered, but it is what it is. But we had a lot of fun. We had great seats for the fucking parade. We saw the parade actually twice, which is great because one night the parade goes one way, right, at like 8:30, and then it comes back later on at night at like 10:30 or something like that. And we were there super late. So, yeah, all in all, it was great. It was a really good trip. It definitely was.
I remember what my story was. So I got two real quick. My son is in GATE, which is like accelerated learning for like nerds, smart kids. And they have a field trip coming up.
I think they called that, when I was in school, because I was in it for 1 year, they called it GT. That's what it was called. But anyway.
This is like gifted and whatever, gifted and intelligent, whatever. They have a field trip.
Gifted and talented.
Some of that, yeah. They have a field trip at Disneyland. And I was like, oh, this is good. He can go, he can enjoy it. I don't have to spend the enormous amount of money for like all of us to go. And he was like, oh, yeah.
The 1 day thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he finds out that we have to take him to school at like 4 a.m. because he has to catch, the bus down. And then I pick him up because the bus leaves at like midnight, pick him up at 4 a.m. again. And he's just like, wait, so I don't get to sleep in? And I'm like, no. And he goes, I don't think I want to go. I'm like, you can sleep on the bus, buddy. He's like, no, I'm good. So I'm like, well, there goes that idea. So we'll revisit it, but it seems like his mind's pretty made up on not going because he's going to lose some sleep. But my family pot story is I've been involved in like a 7-month game of tag with him. I don't know if you do this with your kids or if anyone else out there does it. Like, just like tag, you're it. Just that, right? And there's always a safe zone in the house. It used to be just the white couch. That was the safe zone. So when I was it and he like was going to get a drink and I'd come in the lounge room, he'd run back to the white couch. Now the safe zones has evolved into like a certain like plushie or like a different couch, or like now he's using downstairs as the safe zone. He's using the pool, like in the water.
Sounds like he's bending the rules.
He is bending all the rules.
In the very least, but if not full on cheating.
Yeah, he's full on cheating. But what it means was like I've had to like get really creative with like how I tag him. So there was one time where he was swimming and the water was the safe zone. He came out and he's like, where's dad? Where's dad? And they're like, oh, he went upstairs to get changed. He has got to go to work. So he like came to like right where the door is and I was like hiding. I had to tag him. Either way, every day we're playing tag in this house and like I'm hoping he gets over it soon because it's so much effort, so much energy. And same when I drop him off, he'll tag me on the way out of it's like safe zone school. I'm like, well, I can't even get out, buddy. It doesn't matter. But like, yeah, monstrous game of tag, me and my son right now. Okay, it just never ends. Never ends.
I mean, but I'm just like, it's just interesting that it's like just ongoing forever.
Yeah. It's like tomorrow when he wakes up and when I wake up, or he wakes up for a second, they'll run to like, they'll tag he'll tag me and be like safe zone something. And that would just be it. And then we'll just go like, I've tried to make like, we've tried to get rid of safe zones. We've tried to do everything. No, it doesn't work. Doesn't work. Tell me if anyone else out there is experiencing that.
All right, cool. Well, that's going to do it for us. Friday, Poker Masters begin. Yeah. Let's freaking go. Again, hopefully I run hot, but be here every single day. Got a lot of coverage planned, a lot of live streaming. So be sure to stay tuned to PokerGO, to the PokerGO YouTube channel, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, that's all we got, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Fuck 'em us this time, baby.
For Tim Duckworth, my name is Donnie Peters, and we will talk to you guys next time.
So,